Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrogate Mysore, and today we will be discussing about the 64th Navamsha, which is also called as Mrutyu Amsa. So, what is this? What is a Navamsha? It is the ninth division of every Rashi, which is 30 degrees. Rashi is 30 degrees, and if you divide it by 9, you get 3 degrees and 20 minutes as one Amsha. And because it is divided by 9, it is called Navamsha. So, the 64th Navamsha is of extreme importance and significance because when we have a negative planet, like let us say Saturn or retro Saturn or something like that, transiting over that particular point from the ascendant, from the moon or from the sun, mind it, because ascendant is for the body, moon is for the mind, and sun is for the confidence. So who wants low confidence? Who would want a distressed mind or an emotional imbalance? Or who would want the body going through a lot of stress? So body, mind and soul all put together, if all three are well placed and balanced, then we will have a balanced life. So very simple. So let us go through, but it is very important because if Saturn is transiting over this particular point, then it gives rise to unforeseen circumstances, distress, and even death-like situations. Why is Saturn taken to be so important in its transit over the 64th Navamsha? Is because Saturn is the Ayu Karaka. That is the signifier. Saturn planet is the signifier for Ayu. Ayu means longevity. So this is clearly with regard to the longevity of a person, and the 64th Navamsha, if we multiply 3 degrees 20 minutes to 64, it falls between the 210 degree and 213 degree 20 minute arc. So I have done some calculation here, and this is an example. So I have done it only from the ascendant for the while. So let us see. I have taken the ascendant as 11 degrees and 10 minutes and in the sign of Aquarius, and when 11 degrees and 10 minutes is taken, it's very clearly the fourth Amsha. That is the fourth Navamsha. So when we take the fourth Navamsha, that means there are 5 more balanced. After the fourth Navamsha, there are 5 Navamshas balanced, and including the fourth Navamsha, because when you are counting the Rashi, Bhava or the Navamsha, you start from it. So there are 6 Amshas starting from the fourth Navamsha. But the center point would be 11 degrees and 10 minutes. If you are calculating for the time of an event, then you need to take this 11 degrees 10 minutes in the 64th Navamsha also. So going ahead, we have 9 Amshas. As we know, it is divided by 9. So 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 9s are 54. So I have done this mathematics already here. So 9 Navamshas and 6 Rashis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 54. So 54 plus these 6 Amshas are 60. So by this point, at this point where it is entering into the sign of Virgo, 60 Amshas are finished. So the fourth Amsha from there. So the first Amsha would be till 3 degrees 20 minutes. Second Amsha would be till 6 degrees 40 minutes. The third Amsha would be till, I am telling till. So 0 to 320, 320 to 640, 640 to 10, and then 10 degrees to 13 degrees 20 minutes would be the fourth Amsha of Virgo, which is called as the 64th Navamsha or the Mrutyu Amsa. So in this case, for this native, the ascendant falls in the fourth Amsha here, and the Mrutyu Amsha falls in Virgo here. So 64th Navamsha. So if I put it into the D9 chart, this is Chara, movable, Sthira, fixed, and Drisabhava. For Sthira, it starts from the 9th, 1, 9, 5. So 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the fourth one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the ascendant in the D9 falling in the sign of Capricorn. So this is the ascendant. So always the 64th will be in the 4th from the ascendant. So that is actually the Sukhasthana of the D9 chart. But anyway, it will sit there. So if you can see that this is Dvisvava Rashi, that is the dual sign, and this is the 4th one. And dual sign usually starts from the 5th from it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it starts from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the 64th Navamsha falling in Aries. So planets which are transiting over the 64th Navamsha would cause difficulties to the native. So the difficulties would be depending on the type of the planet which is transiting. It can be any planet, but particularly when Saturn or any malefic planet like Rahu or Ketu is transiting, separation, difficulties in family life, unnecessary allegation, court cases, or even death-like situations can happen. So, when we are seeing the 64th Navamsha, do not be scared for that particular point. You need to read every aspect of astrology in a clear mindset to understand when you might suddenly face pitfalls. Every family, every life, every individual on this earth will not have a happy velvet carpet on which he will be walking throughout his life. So there will be challenges and there will be pitfalls. So we need to get motivated, do our thing, but we should be aware that when these types of transit happens, suddenly there might be a pitfall, suddenly you might go through distress. But it is only temporary. And why is it temporary? Because it is only for 3 degrees and 20 minutes. So now let us understand the span of Saturn. The span of Saturn for 30 degrees is 2.5 years. It's 2.5 years. So it is divided by 9. So we will divide this also by 9. So 2.5 years very clearly is 24 plus 6, that is 30 months. 12 2s are 24 plus 6 months, so 30 months. So it is 30 divided by 9 once again. But this is months. That is again 27, 9 3s are 27. So that is 3 months. And you have that decimal. So you need to divide it. So it is 3.3. Let us keep it like this. 3.3 months recurring. So this 0.33 can be again done as 10 days approx. So that is 3 months and 10 days. So we call this as Kantaka. Kantaka, tough time. Kantaka means tough time. I don't think it is visible. Yeah. Is it? Okay. So 30 divided by 9. So 30 months divided by 9. How come you got 30 months? Because it is 2.5 years. So 2.5 years is 24 months plus 6 months. So you got 30 months divided by 9. So I am dividing each by 9. So I am getting 3 and 33. So it is 3 months and 10 days. So the 9th division of the span of the transit of Saturn. So it is only 3 months and 10 days. So you need not be worried to such an extent that something will happen when Saturn is transiting the 8th from the ascendant. It is the 8th from the ascendant. So these things and this 64th Navamsha was also calculated, and the same concept is used in understanding the Sashtashtaka dosha in marriage matching, the Bhut dosha, particularly the 6-8 combination. So these concepts have been extended to the point where they will understand the longevity of the marriage, longevity of business, and longevity of the person itself. So the longevity in question is to be seen from this particular point when the distress to longevity. I am not talking only about longevity because the 8th house itself is known as Ayusthana. So academically, you should understand this particular thing so that you can understand this particular period and then negotiate it. You should negotiate this period. You should not take this period as a challenge and fight against it. You should negotiate this period, and then the rest of it is fine for you to live your
I
life.
have a question from the viewer's point.
Mhm.
So you are trying to say that any planet which transits over that point, 10 to 13 degree 20 minutes?
Yes. Any planet will give one or the other kind of a problem. Like if Venus is transiting, it will give problem with regard to relationships, and if Saturn is transiting, it will give distress to the body.
Shall we understand in this way also that from moon, if the 64th Navamsha, that will disturb the mental state of a person from that
Obviously.
particular planet?
From moon, if this was moon, if exactly this was moon, then it would have been emotional distress, psychological distress. And if this was sun, it would have been a distress of spirituality, intellectual distress, which will give fear, lack of confidence, he can't move ahead into life. So that is how it is.
So if anybody wants to go in more detail, he can take the other planets also, 64th Navamsha?
Yes, no, not from planet. He can take. He can take. If you go into research, you can take the 64th from Venus to understand married life and relationships. You can do that. Whether that has a strong strength of relation, longevity. Because when Saturn is transiting over this, you will know that the Vakuta dosha or the Sastashtaka dosha from Venus and Saturn is going to be very difficult, and you will be going through a lot of misconception, misunderstanding, and that would be difficult to keep a relationship stable. So you need to understand this. This is how we do the predictions.
So what we are trying to say is, if a person understands that period and tries to come out of that period positively, things will
Then
survive.
things will, he will be having a better edge to survive, a better way to manage things, and he will be more positive. So more positive, less fear, you can tackle this particular issue easier. So thank you very much for today's class.